All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is March 12th, 2026, 7 p.m., the combined work and regular session. Linda, will you please call the meeting to order and read the Open Public Meetings Act announcement?
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year are confirmed at the annual meeting, are posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and on the borough website, published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year, and copies are sent to the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger.
Roll call, please.
Councilman O'Connell. Councilman O'Toole. Council President Lovasolo.
Here.
Councilwoman Homan. Councilman Delavatio.
Here.
Councilman Yakarino.
Present.
Mayor Wilzinski.
Here. Please stand. Flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excellent. All right. So first we have approval of minutes. We have to table the February 19th minutes to March 26th. Do I have a motion to table the 19th?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Council President Lovasolo.
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio.
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
And we have approval of February 5th, 2026 meetings. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Solo.
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio.
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go over agenda review. We have ordinance 2606 and ordinance 2607, which are second readings. These are the ordinances we remember last time that were regarding hydrants and snow removal. However, we're going to have to table these as well to the March 26th meeting. Do I have a motion to
So moved.
table 2606 and 2607?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Council President Lovasolo.
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio.
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Okay, we have three ordinances to introduce this evening. The first 2608 is an ordinance to amend chapter 53, officers and employees. This is to enter in a new position that we're going to have for our police station, that somebody who's going to be staying in the lobby to greet people as we transition over to Ramsey Dispatch. Then we have ordinance 2609, which is part of our capital ordinance. So we wanted to get some of the things going for this spring as we finalize the rest of our capital. This one is for fields, some record management system, sign in front of Borough Hall, and a vehicle, some vehicles for the police. So we'll get those moving. And then we have 2610, which is an article to amend the property maintenance article. Did you want to talk about this, the maintenance standards, Council President?
2610.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
both the awning and the.
Yes. So, we, as you know, we love all of our businesses in town and our business owners. There are, however, some situations downtown where some of the buildings are in slight disrepair. This is just a tweaking to our code, which referenced, was repainting metal and wood, and we just changed that to mean all surfaces, because as you know, much of our downtown can be stucco and brick and what have you. So we just changed that, and we also included something that we had been following up on, but wasn't really specifically worded, awnings and mold on awnings. So this is just an effort to encourage our business owners to maintain their property, or encourage our landlords to also maintain the property in which they have their businesses in.
Thank you. And it's a continuation of all the work that we're doing in our downtown as well with our streetscape
Are
and
you gonna talk
flowers.
about the
and,
post office?
I can in my report.
That's gonna be fun.
So then we have, next we have our consent agenda. These are considered routine. However, there's a couple that I'd like to bring out. First, we have the execution of the shared service agreement between the Borough of Allendale and Ramsey. And I'm sure Chief Dillon will be talking about that in his report. We have a waiver of a compost fee for the garden club. We also have a resolution authorizing the flow assessment services for the sewer system. So this is something we've been working on for quite a while. We're trying to take a multi-pronged approach to get at the bottom of, some of our I&I, which is inflow and infiltration. So our sewer systems is one of our top budget items. So we're constantly just making sure that all the pipes are as, I guess, as buttoned up as can be, as solid as can be, as well as to make sure that residents don't have their pipes going into our sewer system, like their sump pump, for example, that has to go out to a different area. If it goes into the sewer system, we actually pay a lot of money for that. So this is some type of test that is going to help with that. And then lastly, we're going to have a new employee in our land use. Our land use administrator right now, Linda Garofalo, will be leaving us, and we had many interviews, and we wound up hiring somebody, and her name is Joanne Catafumo, and we welcome her to the Borough of Allendale. And with that, I'd like to open the agenda to the public on agenda items only. Anybody wishing to speak on agenda items only? Okay, bringing it back. Do I have a motion, ordinance 2608, introduction of ordinance to amend chapter 53. Linda, will you please read that?
Ordinance 26-08, an ordinance to amend Chapter 53 of the Code of the Borough of Allendale, officers and employees, to fix the salaries, wages, and compensation of the officers and employees of the Borough of Allendale for the year 2026.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Council President Lovasolo,
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Ordinance 26-08 has been introduced upon first reading and will be posted on the Borough website on March 13th, 2026, and will be taken up for further consideration, final passage at the meeting of the Mayor and Council on March 26, 2026 at 7 p.m. or soon thereafter.
Next, we have ordinance 2609. This was the ordinance to authorize capital improvements. Linda, please read the ordinance.
Ordinance 26-09, capital ordinance of the Borough of Allendale and the County of Bergen, New Jersey, authorizing various public improvements and acquisitions in, by, and for the borough, appropriating therefore the sum of $349,000 and providing that such sum so appropriated shall be raised from the capital improvement fund of the borough.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Council President Lovasolo,
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Ordinance 26-09 has been introduced upon first reading and will be posted on the Borough website on March 13, 2026, and will be taken up for further consideration and final passage at the meeting of the Mayor and Council on March 26, 2026 at 7 p.m. or soon thereafter.
And then we have ordinance 2610, and this is the ordinance to amend property maintenance in our downtown.
Ordinance 26-10, an ordinance to amend, supplement, and revise the Code of the Borough of Allendale, Chapter 199, Property Maintenance, Article 5, Maintenance Standards.
Excellent. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Okay. Council President Lovasolo,
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Ordinance 26-10 has been introduced upon first reading and will be posted on the Borough website on March 13th, 2026, and will be taken up for further consideration and final passage at the meeting of the Mayor and Council on March 26, 2026 at 7 p.m. or soon thereafter.
Do I have to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Council President Lovasolo,
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
All right, next we have our administration portion of the meeting and our council reports. Councilman Yakarino.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll keep it short. Last week, you and I were very honored to attend the Hope Christian Brunch at Cedar Hill Church in White Cloughlin. I couldn't make it the last year, but I was happy to return this year. And it's always a very inspiring morning. We've got 2 group homes in town. They do a fabulous job. They are great members of our community. We're so happy to have them. And it's also nice, because we're with other towns as well who also host these homes. So it's a really nice sociable morning, but also more importantly, to learn about the great work they're doing. So I'll leave it at that. I'm sure Councilman Dallas will talk more about the field, so I'll let him speak to that. So I'll leave it there.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Very much. Councilman Delavatio.
Thank you, Mayor. DPW committee met on Friday, the 23rd. It was a good meeting overall. We discussed a lot of the planning and preparation that's going into place right now to get Crestwood ready for opening. The team has been working to put everything together. They had planned to start this Monday to actually start doing some cleanup work at Crestwood. And I'm sure that that is following way. Chemicals and everything are getting ready, gravel in the parking lots, all that stuff. They're gonna be checking out the concession stand and start getting that prepped and ready so we can get it ready for opening day. Fields, as Councilman Yakarino mentioned, fields, now that the weather is starting to break, fields will start to get prepped for opening day. The guys have everything scheduled and ready to go, to make sure that we're done in time, weather permitting, for opening day, batching, deep batching and cleaning along the fence lines and getting everything prepped where it needs to be. As you mostly all know, we had a lot of snow. So there were a couple of little meetings that they had. I think everything went pretty well with our snow removal contractor around town. There was a lot of snow to move. There was a lot of coordination. I think we're in a good place. Hopefully we won't have any more this year and we'll be.
Had some today.
Well, the little flakes.
Yeah,
We
it's not welcome.
we discussed, checking out, making sure our signs around town and good coordination and communication with our police department as they drive around town. I know they note once in a while where they see broken signs or signs that are bent over. So the DPW is going to be communicating with them to make sure that that gets coordinated and fix signs as needed. Prepping equipment, our backhoe had a leaky axle that's actually in Caterpillar getting fixed right now. Our crew chiefs have been in place now for a couple of months. Everything is going well with them, good communication, good coordination, and the team seems to be flowing and working well together. So things are progressing in the right direction.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Council President
Very
Lovasolo.
good job. Thank you, Mayor. As you mentioned, I was happy to be a part of interviews for new positions in our construction department. We wish Linda all the best on her retirement. She's retiring, and we welcome Joanne to our team. It's been a busy stretch. We had a wonderful town hall I'm sure you've been recording on, which was good to attend. We also had a 250 parade meeting I was a part of. We had a finance meeting on March 2nd with our CFO, Allison Altano, keeping us on the straight and narrow as always, and looking at a great budget again for this year. Good news for the library, because of our increased assessments, looks like the library will be receiving almost an additional $100,000 this year over last year, yeah. Let's see what else we had going on. We had a lot. Oh, we had a ribbon cutting in town of a business that has been here, but a new location. Pilates class, CTI Pilates, I believe. Yeah. We had a shade tree meeting, which Tyler also
I forgot
attended.
to talk about the shape. It was one of the best meeting of the month.
On March 3rd, we had that. We're looking at tweaking 2 ordinances in relation to shade trees. One that just kind of updates the listing of our shade trees in town. Some trees we no longer would recommend to be planted, others we're adding to the list, and we have a wonderful team in place for that. We're also going to be addressing the removal of trees in town. Trees are recommended to be replanted, as well as if you don't have the capacity or don't wish to be replanting trees on your property, you can add to a created tree fund in town. But that's going to all be codified in our ordinance. Also, there was a green team meeting recently, and the green team looks to be adding another focus to their area of food waste and focusing on food waste and how to help our restaurants and all of us address food waste. Our next land use committee meeting will be in the morning of March 26th. I look forward to reporting on that.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Staff reports, Linda Sorbino, our clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. Compost permits went on sale yesterday. The compost center opens on April 8th. And then regarding legal notices are up on the borough website. So rather than sending our legal notices to the newspaper, which I usually do the night over the next day, we'll be posting them on the borough website. This will save the borough a lot of money because the advertising in the newspaper is costly when you have a bunch of
Right.
items to be posted. I will be posting the notices the day after the meeting. But per the Community Development Block Grant Contract Administrator, Community Development is a federal grant program that requires advertisement in the newspaper and the paper's website. So limiting advertising of capital projects on the municipality's website is not acceptable under the regulations, and that also applies for Bergen County open space. On the Secretary of State's public notice website, I registered the Borough of Allendale. So there's a link to direct a link right to our legal notices on our borough website. If they go to the state's page. And Nancy registered the Lee Memorial Library as well for her public notices. And so all the municipalities will be listed on the state's Secretary of State's website. And then on Friday, March 6th, I had a lunch and learn called Municipal Clerks as a Wedding Officiant, which explained the new law and provided guidance and insights for municipal clerks performing weddings and civil unions.
Turkey.
Amy also hired you.
I need saver. All right. Is that it?
That's it, sorry.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I'll put it, I get through this quickly. So we're approving a resolution tonight for a shared service agreement with Ramsey, so I feel like that it's appropriate to kind of go over a little bit about,
Yeah.
surrounding, the circumstances surrounding environment, so what we did. And Liz, I'll send this to you in a Word document.
Thank you,
Yeah.
appreciate it. Sometimes the speaker is not really good.
So I'll start with a little about how we got to this point. As I was preparing for tonight, to look back in my files and found when the dispatch consolidation conversation started. In August of 2011,
Yeah.
I created this worksheet containing questions asked of agencies who could potentially dispatch for us and in turn that we could possibly take on. The conversation continued in February 2013, when I compiled a list of questions and concerns after touring the county facilities. I was with Mayor Barra.
Oh, wow.
Truth be told, shared service dispatch was always a topic of conversation in Bergen County public safety community. The conversations continued due to many reasons: financial, employee recruitment and retention, and regionalization of emergency services to better serve the public. Fast forward to 2024, which brought the need for major upgrades to our equipment at our dispatch room. The overall cost would have been somewhere in a ballpark of 500 to 700,000. And at that point, the yearly cost to run the communication desk was 350,000. Salaries, benefits, equipment maintenance, etc. Before this capital improvement proceeded, the Public Safety Committee, Borough Administrator, CFO, Allison O'Connell, and I discussed other options. We toured communication centers, which were run through a consortium, the county government, and local government. A detailed analysis and feasibility studies were conducted, which led us to our ultimate decision. The committee had many requirements, including the new agency retaining our existing employees, leveraging new technologies, and the idea that the contracted dispatch center would be the extension of our police headquarters, working hand in hand. Absolutely every aspect and impact resulting from this decision was considered. I am confident that the choice we made will have the least impact to the community and the department. Our dispatchers were given full-time positions with Ramsey, including an increase in salary and supervisory role. Allendale Emergency Service Communications will be streamlined. Everyone, including police, fire, EMS, and public works, are on the same platform. Our mutual aid partner Ramsey will have constant situational awareness about what is occurring in our borough. The cost savings to the borough long-term will be meaningful, and the police station remains open to the public 24 hours a day. We are streamlining police administrative duties while still maintaining the services our residents expect. Thank you to the committee, to Allison, to our employees and the public for their cooperation and collaboration into this project, which will finally launch next Monday, March 16th. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Jim Coban and his team at Coban Computer Solutions. I've never worked more closely with a vendor, and due to their knowledge and skill, we have essentially connected Allendale Police Headquarters with Ramsey Police Headquarters for seamless operations. I'm looking forward to working with our new partners experiencing the latest technology, and seeing all our planning and effort in practice.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I know how much time and effort you put into this, obviously over all of these years. And aside from the, the emergency services not being impaired at all, the fact that you really wanted to make sure that our dispatches were taken care of and our residents were taken care of on the other side, just having that comfort of the lobby being open. I have no doubt this is going to be a very successful transition, and I look forward to it and look forward to another tour.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. Our Borough Attorney, Ray West.
Very brief this evening there. In addition, working with the chief, with our administrator, with the clerk on some routine matters, and some of the matters on tonight's agenda, I would say most of the time was taken up in the last 2 weeks on working on implementation issues with respect to Veolia and certain other Veolia related issues, and also Saddle River Sewer, and repeated calls with the mayor and Councilwoman Owen. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you very much. So my report, the town hall was a success. We went over our fair share housing update. We're still wrapping up a couple loose ends, as Ray mentioned, with Saddle River. We will be sending out a memo trying to explain everything. It's taken quite a bit of time to try to consolidate everything, but hopefully we'll get something out that's nice and clear. As Council President Lovasolo mentioned, we have our 250 committee in place. We've had 2 meetings already. And our last one was with the chief of police, so we're working on logistics of our big parade that is gonna parlay into the big event that the holiday observers is having in September. We are still going through the budget line by line. We have our newly branded CFAC committee, which is Community Financial Engagement. Yeah, committee. No, not community. Community Financial Engagement Committee. Yeah. CFAC. We used to have what we call the Finance Advisory Committee, but we felt like we just kind of rebranded it a little bit so we could give some of the financial minds in the community a little bit of insight into what we're dealing with in the budget. And, have them be a voice for the community and understand what we're doing. And they all gave us great feedback. They felt very comfortable with the budget process. And some of them did give us some ideas, different specialties that they're in. So we're going to have that twice a year now. And if anybody financially wants to join, it's got a financial mind, you're all very welcome. We're having a meeting tomorrow to revisit the roads. We keep a list of roads and potholes in order of, worst to best. And since we've had so much snow and there's been a lot more damage, some of them might have to shift a little bit. So we're meeting with the engineer in the morning just to kind of reevaluate that. We've been going over many grants, collecting data for a couple different grants that we'll announce in a bit, but we're trying to get grants for actually everything that we do. One of them is actually a shade tree grant for 250 trees around the borough over 5 years, which will also be in line with our 250th celebration. And then one of the projects that we're doing, which was on the capital budget, is the transit lab. We're going to add some trees there, the strip of land that is pretty overgrown across from our fire station. So that'll be a really nice addition to the town, getting that, just a couple trees put in that. And I also had 2 mayors meetings back to back. One was my regular league meeting and one was for all the District 5 meetings. Congressman Josh Skyheimer actually was hosting both of them. A lot of great information, a lot of really interesting insights in Washington, holy moly. A lot of funny stories as well. So it's good to see somebody cross the lines and try to get stuff done, because there is some divide there, and he seems to do a pretty good effort crossing the lines and trying to get some work done. And I think that's it for me. I have another mayor's meeting this Saturday, so I look forward to that with the Northwest mayors, and that's it for me.
Remember, Harry told you don't be late.
I'm not gonna be late. It's another part. All right, so any unfinished business or new business? Okay, any public comments on anything in the borough? Not seeing anybody?
I think Walter's coming.
Walter. Come on.
Couple of points. One, Walter Whitman, 30 down.
Is that one of your points?
What?
That's one of your points.
When you put an ordinance on and vote on,
Yes.
how long does it hold, last?
It could be in perpetuity. We constantly are updating them as just things change in the borough to try to keep them current. Like, for example, the one today, we noticed it was missing a couple components, so we wanted to add that. For example, the snow ordinance for removal of snow around the hydrants. It was in 24 hours. We felt that after this snowstorm, people needed more time, so we changed that to 48 hours. So sometimes they're like just little tweaks like that, just to keep them current.
But
So-
they do remain on the books, Walter, until actually changed affirmatively.
Yeah.
They become part of the governance of the borough.
So I can look up an ordinance of 1910.
Right,
Pick
that,
something up.
yeah, that goes to what the mayor said, is that since there are various committees that have periodic review, they're looking at situations like that. Was something that was adopted in 1910, does it reflect what it should today?
Like we had, in one business district, we had like a shoe cobbler. So we changed that because there's no shoe cobblers anymore, you know, so you might see stuff like that we change and update.
Thank you. If I may, a comment, that
It's getting fixed. It's getting fixed.
Well,
It's getting fixed. When's it getting fixed? We'll have to, it's on the schedule to get fixed.
so you fixed.
It's in the
I
works.
had to listen carefully for you to override it.
I get it. Yep, we are going to fix it. We promised you, and it is in the work, in the
I
budget.
hope so.
It is,
Secondly, will we make better use of this?
meaning,
You.
oh, yes, everybody make better use of your,
Well, the one thing is I know that the mayor said it's getting fixed, though, this in historical, when this system was put in, I believe, Amy, you did it.
Mhm.
It was more so as a recording mechanism than an actual projection mechanism. So I believe the new system will make better use of that.
You're welcome.
Can't read my notes.
You can call us anytime.
I made the observation in Crescent Ave. I don't know who dug it up. I don't know who quote fixed it. But they didn't. It's horrible. It seems as though anybody can come along, dig up the road, do whatever they have to do. And then nobody gives a damn how it's fixed.
Oh, we give a damn, Walter, so that's not necessarily true. So what happens though is sometimes utility companies have to come and they have to fix it, but because the temperature is too cold, asphalt won't stick, so they can only do a temporary fix and then they have to wait until the spring to properly fix it. I think you're probably talking about PNC&G work. I'm not really sure. There's been 13 water main breaks this whole entire winter. They can't patch them up properly until spring comes. So that's probably what you're saying.
The other thing you're seeing too is when they put in, because the temperature is so cold and they backfill, part of that freezes. So now it's warming up, that sinks. It sinks as it thaws. So to Amy's point, it's, they're gonna come and fix it properly.
I sure hope so. Because every time they supposedly fix it, it gets worse. And it places it on that Crescent. I mean, you all drive it. You're fully aware of what's going on there. God, I need 5 notes here. I can't read half of them. Oh, man.
Well, you know, you can always reach out to us anytime.
Yeah, Walter, you know where we live. Have a nice night.
Thank you for your
Okay.
time.
Anybody else from the public? Not seeing anybody. Motion to adjourn.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, good night, everybody. Thank you.